Okay, hi everyone. I'd like to call the meeting of our Home Advisory Group to order. May I please have the roll call?
Chair LaPlante,
Here.
Member Mathis. Here. Member Bastian. Member Bricks. Here. Member Cahill. Member Crandall. Member Flint.
Here.
Member Header. Here. Member Hennepin. Member Honig.
Here.
Member Krajewski.
Okay, thank you so much. Do we have
Member
any?
Shorzy?
Member
missed you?
Schwarzy. Yep. Sorry about that.
That's okay,
I
thank
did it
you.
again.
That's no problem. So do we have any public comments today?
No public.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. I move to approve the minutes from our last meeting, item 25-1632 of our Home Advisory Group regular meeting minutes from Tuesday, April 1st. We have a motion and then a second from Member Honig. Sorry. I looked right at you and said his name. Sorry about that. That was weird. Okay, that's what it was. Sorry. Okay, wonderful. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or any questions? No? Okay, that motion passes. Thank you. Moving to item 5A, item number 25-1633. This is a request to waive the funding home applications, risk analysis and monitoring financial viability of home funded projects policy, section 5, and recommendation of a conditional commitment of $2,400,336 of home investment partnerships program funds between DuPage County and Gorman and Company LLC for new construction of 71 units of affordable rental housing development in Naperville, Illinois for seniors and persons with disabilities.
So moved.
Okay, we've got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion from Member Header and a second by Member Shorzy.
Okay.
And Mary is going to, is there any other questions? No? Okay, Mary is going to talk about.
Yeah, so actually, both of these items have kind of a similar similar circumstance. So our approval process for home funds is a multi-step process, and we start with something called the preliminary set aside. And we do a preliminary set aside that was sort of a category we created specifically for projects that are seeking LIHTC funds from IDA, low-income housing tax credit funds. It's a very long process, a very competitive process through IDA. And one of the things that IDA requires is that all the other funding sources be sort of on board in order for tax credits to get approved. Every year there are probably, I don't know what the percentage is, but I'm going to guess maybe 30% of all of those LIHTC applications actually get approved. So we don't want to tie funds up if for projects that don't get approved, but at the same time, those projects need some sort of commitment. So we do a preliminary set aside. It's basically a letter that we send to IDA that those applicants can put in their application that says, if this project gets approved, we have sort of earmarked we've set aside funds from DuPage County Home Funds to support that project. And we put an expiration on that preliminary set aside so that if they don't get that application round, then it frees it up. The next step is something called a conditional commitment. And typically the conditional commitment comes at a time where the project, everything is really well lined out. And so then the Home Advisory Group is saying to the county board, this project is ready to go. The only thing left to do is just make sure all the attorneys for all the different funding sources all agree on the documents. Both of these projects are have received LIHTC tax credits. They're hoping to be able to close on both of these properties at the end of August. What we're requesting to do at this time is move that conditional commitment forward, even though there still are a number of things that need to be worked out. The reason we're doing that is once we have that conditional commitment, we can then sort of release our draft legal documents. We can continue to work with the developers and get everything lined up and make sure that we make all of the additional committee schedules that need to happen in August. So if we do the conditional commitment today, then we don't have to, otherwise we'd be waiting to the first week in the first week in August, and then we're going to Human Services the third week in August, and the county board the final week in August. So we would be potentially holding up the closings on these properties. And so that's why you'll see this request to waive the risk analysis. We're still doing the risk analysis. What we're saying is we're gonna complete the risk analysis before we actually go to county board. So the conditional commitment of the Home Advisory Group still continues to be an advisory to the county board. It doesn't guarantee the funding. It doesn't lock up the funding. It still gives us the opportunity to make sure that all of the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed before we actually get the approval of the county board, which is where we tie up those funds from the county to the developer.
Does anyone have any questions on this?
And
Okay,
you'll see both of them have memos that should indicate the final work that needs to be done before we can go to county board, so.
Yeah.
And we're very excited about both these projects.
yeah, so much work has gone into both of these projects. I know I can speak about specifically to the Glen Ellen project for I know a lot of the advocates that have been working so hard from that community and working to raise attention, awareness, and they've done a fantastic job of organizing and communicating with members of the county board. So fantastic sort of roadmap for other people who are going to be doing projects like this going forward. So there's no questions. We have a motion and a second. May we please have a roll call vote?
Sure.
Thank you.
Member Header,
Yes.
member Honig.
Yes.
Member Shorzy,
Yes.
member Barfus.
Yes.
Member Briggs,
Yes.
and member Flint,
Yes.
Chair LaPlante.
Yes. Wonderful. That
We
motion.
did get,
passes.
we did get a new.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
November.
Yes,
Yes.
member.
Yes. Wonderful. Thank you. It's unanimous. Moving on to our next item on our agenda, number 25-1634, request to waive the funding home applications, risk analysis and monitoring financial viability of home funded projects policy, section 5, and recommendation of a conditional commitment of $1,750,000 of home investment partnerships program funds between DuPage County and Full Circle Communities Incorporated, Taft and Exmoor Development for new construction of 42 units of affordable rental housing development in Glen Ellen, Illinois for families and persons with disabilities.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by member Shorzy and a second by member Hayter. Do we have, Mary, would you like to speak more or?
Same drill, different.
Yes.
Different address.
Yeah.
Everything she just said, apply it to also this
Right.
here in Glen Ellen, from Naperville to Glen Ellen. So with that in mind, does anyone have further questions about this? Okay, wonderful. Then may we please have a roll call?
Sure.
Thank you.
Member Shorzy,
Aye.
member Barfus,
Yes.
member Briggs,
Yes.
member Crandall. I'm sorry, member Flint,
Yes.
member Hader. Yes. Member Hennepin,
Yes.
member Honig,
Yes.
and Chair LaPlante.
Aye. Thank you. That motion passes as well. Moving on to other business, earlier in our Human Services Committee, Mary explained and handed out everything about our 2-on-1 program. And so I asked if she could possibly repeat what she was saying to this community or to this committee and also to hand these out. And I highly encourage all of our municipal partners, take as many as you want and we can get you more. But this is wonderful information that can be really, really helpful and impactful. Take it away, Mary. Sure.
That way. Yeah, so for those of you who may not be aware, so DuPage County launched a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week 2-on-1 system. I'm trying to think now, I guess it was late 2023. 2-on-1 is a 3-digit number that folks call to get connected to social services, both that are operated by the county and then for, hundreds of nonprofits within the community. What you're looking at is basically the dashboard of the 2-on-1 calls that were taken last year, indicating where the highest needs are. This information, if you go to 211dupage.gov, you can get this information sort of in real time. You can also drill down by zip code or by individual community, and you can see how many people called and what they're looking for. We can, we know that housing is probably it is the highest request. across the board, regardless of what municipality they're calling from. So it just highlights the work of, the important work of this committee of trying to make sure that we're putting through as many units of affordable housing as we can. So I encourage you to take a look at it. Like I said, if you go to 211dupage.gov, you can, and if you go to the About section, and then there's something called 211 counts, and that's where you would be able to see the information specific to your own community.
And there might be, each municipality and each community has different needs. We had our mayors and managers meeting last week, and Doug Clint was saying that the biggest hurdle or obstacle that they face in Glendale Heights was utility bills, right, Doug? So,
It's one of the largest things is, water and electric bills.
yeah, so this is something that if someone is in danger of having some services shut off for a one-time, this is something that they can call. So this is another example of how the services could be used. Really specific, hyper-specific, and sort of to help with like any type of emergency stopgap measure. So this is hopefully this will be a great resource for your senior citizens. Anyone have any other comments or any other business that they would like to discuss? Okay, seeing none, then this meeting is adjourned to our next meeting, which will be August 5th. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.